everything. Oh, a few things. So the stand, I had a slight scaling issue actually. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because I adjusted. I don't know if it's because I adjusted my pillow box that it stands on, but they're actually wider than what they should be. But I haven't printed the end covers that go on here yet. So if I can get this thing to go over the top, I'm going to show you what I mean. It's just sticking out by about 1 millimeter, and yeah, I don't really want that. I don't know what happened. Never mind. Well, what I can do is I can print some. I can print some side faces. Oh, I think I know what I did. I think I thinned out the. I think I made the walls a bit thinner, and I forgot to adjust the. I should have made the walls thinner from the inside, coming out instead of from the outside going in. Duh. Yeah. Well, these things happen. No worries. I can sort that out later. It's not a big issue. It just means putting a fascia wall on, sticking it on the top to thicken it out again. Oh well. So yeah, the stand came out really good. I've been playing around with the different configuration of the magnets, and I was trying to explain to a friend of mine about static magnetism. I mean, when I say static magnetism, I mean, well, let's just get my rule, a steel rule, so it holds it in place. I'll show what I mean. I mean, obviously, when you've got a stationary magnet, that's not moving, you have deflection, obviously. Well, the core materials actuate the field as they're rotating, and so it closes the gap between the magnets in here and the coil, which is on the outside. Now, what I'm talking about this, even when these steel lamination core assemblies are not adjacent to the magnets, if we can get it, well, they actually are adjacent always, but we always have a static magnetic field coming out, you see, and that is what's messing up my waveforms, because I need to get a high peak and a low dip. I'm not getting enough low dip, and now the reason for that is obviously because we have static magnetic field coming through, even if that core's not there. So if I hold that to the magnet, obviously, and I put the space, oh, I can't do this with one hand, it's moving away on me. I'll just prise it. I'm trying to get that gap there, but obviously we still have a static field at that point. Right, so I was having to think about this, and I previously said I didn't want to use the nanocrystalline met glass, but having doing some thinking, I won't need much. Because what I want to do is I want to offset the. I want to take out 3 of the segments, so we're going back to 3 actuator segments, but 3 segments will become blockers. So using a bit of this scrapped nanocrystalline, I folded. This is a bit of scrap material because I've got quite a bit of it that my friend in America sent me, and I zigzagged it. Well, it's concertina. I folded it in a concertina arrangement. Because I believe that would be more effective at blocking the flux. Now I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Now, if we get this magnet here, for example, that's on the steel ruler, and if I stick it on, let me just balance it on here a minute. Right, so I get my gauge, and we see quite a bit of deflection, as you can see. When I use the met glass on nanocrystalline and stick that on the magnet, it blocks most of that field out. Actually, it stops most of it from going out. So if we look at it now and see how much deflection we have coming through now, It's actually a lot weaker than it was. That magnet's pretty big though. It's all about the size of the physical length of the magnet. Let's try a magnet that's more appropriate to the size, because it's actually the full length of this crystalline, which is another problem you've got to think about. So let's try it with something that's more appropriate for that size, which is this little round magnet. It shows a bit more effectively. If I stick that on the steel ruler, it's just for demo really. So I've got this little round magnet. Let's check the scale on this. We see it deflects, and put the nanocrystalline coat, because it's over a wider surface area. We need a wider surface area. Stick the magnet on, the nanocrystalline on, and now it's basically preventing most of that magnetic field from getting through there. And to actually prove that, I use my nail file. It's not very strong there coming through. It depends on how thick this is. I did show it on the thicker stuff. We do need a bit more layers of this, a few more layers. This is just the basic stuff that I'd line around it. It's a bit of scrap material, but obviously the thicker stuff, as I showed previously, works really well. Can't get this off now. So let me get that off there a minute. But the thicker stuff I was testing with, like I showed previously when I was using this sort of over here, it's proportional to how strong the field is. That's a bit more thicker material. Let's just stick this over the, if I can get this on here. Actually, remember I showed you with the really strong magnets. Let's get the really strong magnets actually. It's probably a better example. I only want a couple of them. Right, some of the big round neodymium ones. I don't know if I got this right way around. Oh yeah, I have. Right, so it's deflecting at when I go near it, look. Right, so if we get the right amount of material, nanocrystalline material, we should be able to, actually it's still getting through there, but this is a bit too thin. It's proportional to how thick it is as well, because you oversaturate it and you get straight through, you see. Let's go back to the round one, the little round one I went a minute. So this side it's pushing. I'll put the face side, so that's going to pull on that side. As you can see, it's holding it. So on this side it's blocked. The thickness of this is a critical amount, so I've got to work this out into how much I need for the magnets I'm using. And the magnets, these, alright, so I'm using them pretty strong, really strong ones. So I'm going to have to, just getting these off my fire. Let's come off you buggers. Right, so stick these really strong ones on here. I don't know which way around they are, I've got them upside down. That's really strong. That's going to come through, I bet you. Oh, not bad. I'm blocking most of it. And most of that's not getting through. It's being blocked. It's been spread out actually over a wider area as well. That's part of what's happening, because it's probably coming out the ends here actually. Some of it spreads out along the steel. It doesn't block it technically, it actually redirects it. That's what's really going on. So it will come out the ends here probably. So let me just check my, yeah, some of it's come out of here. It's spread it out over a wider area, so it's actually coming out over here as well. You can see it's lifting it up. So technically it's not blocking the field, it's just redirecting it over a wider area. That's what's really going on. But if we can just basically do that, we will create our dips, which is what we want in the concentrated area focused on. We're basically sending it somewhere else well, it's not going to affect anything, you see. So that's what the main thing. So, oh, a minute. So I was thinking about this yesterday. I thought, well, I'm going to build this thing. I might wind up winding a whole bunch of wire on the new coils and everything, and later on realise I got too many windings on there when I've optimised the other stuff. So I thought, well, rather than rushing into it, let's just optimise the cores, the rotor assembly first, because if I start winding coils and I use like 10 quid's worth of copper, and then it turns out I've wasted half of it because I need to take some turns off, that's probably what would happen. Yeah, you get the idea. It's a bit like a bit of overkill. So I'm going to go back in SketchUp and I'm going to model one of these segments, one of these sections to be screening, to have some nanocrystalline screening on there, so that, and the other benefit is the fact that when it's opposite the magnets, it will effectively short them out more effectively because it'll block it from going through. So most of the field will be arced out as it passes. So we get our dip, and then the next one we'll have our peak, and then our dip, then our peak, and so on. Because at the moment I'm not getting enough of a dip, and that's what's driving me up the wall right now. The only other way to do this, to get a bigger dip, would be to physically make this drum, this part here where the laminations are, a lot bigger, so there's a bigger gap between the magnet and the actual coil. Well, that's not practical. That would mean the rotor would be massive, absolutely huge. I'll have a lot more wind resistance, more drag on the rotor and everything. So it seems a better option to simply try and block that flux off on a certain negative cycle. So that's what I'm going to have to work on. But anyway, the stand works, as you can see. Sits on there pretty well, and because it's not dancing around, I'm happy. I probably don't need the end caps on there anyway, because what I usually do is put some double-sided tape on the bed on these on the V sections. Put some double-sided tape just to stick these blocks onto there so it doesn't slide off, because it might dance a little bit and slowly slide off. So I don't want that to happen because they could fall off, you see. So I'll probably put some double-sided tape on there. But I'm happy with the stand. At least we don't have to do that again. I haven't tried seeing if the motor fits on here yet. Actually, I haven't tried that. I'd have to pull the motor out of this one and try it. So we'll have to see if it plugs in. Oh, actually, I can take the dummy end out, which is that end. There's a dummy end on there. I don't know if I can get that out. Just a minute. Let me just stick my phone in this damn droopy cam setup a minute. See if I can get the damn thing out. So if I get the spare one, which is this one, I don't need pliers, it's gone in a bit. If I can get it out. Come on. Got ya. Right, I've got it. So okay, right, so the other thing as well, because I haven't put the counterbalance on this, because the diameter of this is much bigger, my drive belt's going to be too short, so I'm probably going to end up mounting the motor actually on these legs, probably. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Just see if this fits in here though. Should do. I hope. It might need... Oh, it does. Yeah, it does. Because that's where I'd normally mount the motor, but because this is a lot further apart, my other belt is not going to reach. Let's just get the belt and see what I mean. Let's have a look. Right, this is my other belt, and it's bigger. This is my bigger belt, and that's the belt I've been using. So will this one fit? Oh, just about. Yeah, that's going to work. So I can use the bigger belt on there instead of the little belt. because we have scaled up. That's a bit of luck actually. I never measured that, but it's a good thing because I haven't got another one. I haven't got one in between, so that's probably going to work. So if I was to stick this on there, it can be on the left side. It doesn't matter where it is really. The motor can be either side, and I have the motor back plate. Actually, let's get the motor out the other one. Pull it out. Oh, because I might as well just try it. Because I am planning. Oh, I can't get it out. The flipping wires are threaded through the hole. I just realised. So I can't take the motor out without disconnecting it all. Oh, hang on. Right, so I'm going to have to 3D print another motor mount anyway, because I'm going to send the test jig, which is that one, which I've been messing with. I'm going to send it to my friend in America because he's going to do some tests as well, because he's interested. He needs something to do to keep him occupied. He's old like me, and we need things to do, and he's happy to. He's the one that sent me the 3D printer, you see. So I'm obliged to help him really. So I'm just trying to sort this out because I'm trying to put the damn thing back on, and now I've got the motor in the wrong position. Oh, hang on a minute. What have I done? Oh, it's an elastic band's got caught in the damn thing. The elastic band that's supposed to. Oh, that's it out of the way now. That's better. Get this belt back in the right place. Right, that's back on right. So I'm going to 3D print another. I'm going to 3D print another motor mount. And this elastic band got stuck in the hole, and I couldn't push the thing in, and it was messing me up. So I'm going to 3D print another motor mount, and I'm going to send him the new one. The new motor mount, because yeah, I'm going to send him a motor as well actually, because I've got some spare ones of these motors. I've got loads of these little motors. You can play around with it. I need the out of it, that's the only thing out of it. Is the focus. I actually have this spare pulley, another one. It's just like the other one. That would go on there. I'm going to push it off the edge of the table in a minute. There's not enough drive shaft sticking out to hook onto. Oh, there's enough sticking out, just enough, just so I can get some measurements. So the motor, yeah, that'll work. I just wanted to get a better idea. Because I've got to 3D print the motor mount for this one, you see, as well. Oops. Oh. So the pulley that goes on the motor is about that size. So yeah, I think that'll work. Obviously, when I've got a longer drive shaft on there, this pulley's going to be further out as well. Yeah, that's great. So I found a belt that's going to work. And I've got a spare pulley. Well, I'm going to send my friend that pulley anyway, because he's going to need one. He needs to work with the same scaling that I'm working. I mean, same gearing mechanism that I'm working with. Otherwise, it's not going to be a valid comparison. That's why I'm sending him another motor. The other motor I'm going to be sending him is over here. Actually, I made an ad hoc pulley that's about the same size as what I'm using. This is another spare motor, and I've tested it, works fine. It doesn't. I wrote on the values what it is: maximum 200 milliamp, 6 to 12 volts. It says on the original motor it runs about 6 anyway, I think. So yeah, this isn't a proper pulley. This is something I took the pinch rubber off a pinch roller, and it actually does work. It wants beveling a bit, not beveling. It wants the pulley rounding up on the edges so that the belt doesn't ride off, but it should be alright. I'm not even on camera. It wants the pulley just grounding on the edges to raise the middle part of the pulley, so the belt tends to want to ride on the highest point, which is weird on these things. It's just the way things work. So yeah, just letting you know what's going on right now. So anyway, I've got to start messing about with SketchUp, and I've got to make a segment that's got, I can unplug these segments, you see, they just pull out. I actually made a hole in the segments at the back that I can why has it gone dark? I can stick my hook. Why is the camera dark? Oh, that's weird. It's because it's sunny outside, that's why. So I've got my hook, and I just put the hook into the hole that's at the bottom of these segments at the back. It's like a dip. This is where I get access to behind these things. Just stick it in, pull it, and I can pull the segments out. A lot easier than having a hole at the back, really, than trying to poke and push and everything. And plus, having a hole at the back weakens it. So just grabbing out a hole with my hook, I can pull them out. When I get in the hole, actually, I don't think I'm. You've got to get it just right. I'm not going to pull this one out though. I'm just looking for the hole. Unless I've acetoned. No, I can't have done. Oh, I can feel the hole for that one. Oh yeah, some of these don't have a hole in. That's right, because I updated it later on. So some of these don't actually have the hole. But I can usually press this in because it's only filament. And yeah, the camera keeps going dark when it looks outside. It's because the sun's shining. Right, so that's just all right now. I've just got to. I'm still watching Let's Dig at the moment. He's making a road. He's making a road. I'm putting concrete and gravel down. I'm watching on YouTube. So yeah, this belt's brilliant. So I'm happy about that, because I was thinking about this earlier. I thought, shit, I bet I don't have a belt for this. And as luck would have it, I do have. I might as well leave this stuck in there because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to stick the motor on. Okay, I'm just going to stick this across the room for now, because, yeah, I'm not going to, I'll tell you why I was eager to get these canopies done and everything, and wind the coils and everything, and but having tested with the previous coil, it's a bit disappointing, a little bit disappointing actually. Because there's not as much output as what I was hoping to get. So that's why I decided to do some work on the segments and offset the segments a bit more, because that's the problem. That is the main problem I'm having right now. There's not enough dip on the attenuation. I'm getting a small attenuation, a very tiny amount, which is why the voltage is low. So by increasing that attenuation level up and down, we'll get more output, and that's a fact. There's no two ways about that. So I'm just going to stick this across the room without dropping it, hopefully. Because you know what happens when you're alive, things go ape shit. Murphy's Law, if something can go wrong, it will. Yeah. Oh. So, I'm going to go back to watching my video. See you later.